So what is up, diecast collectors? This is OBB, the diecast news guy, bringing you all a very special diecast review, or more importantly, a mega diecast review on the 2023 Indianapolis 500 set for the McLaren INDYCAR team. As you guys see right here, we got not one, not two, not three, but 4 diecasts all released from Greenlight Collectibles that I finally got the whole set, and I thought it'd be a good time to actually review this car, and we're going to review all these cars one by one, talk about, as you guys can see, there is a lot of great history that's going on between this, and we're going to celebrate it with these diecast collectibles right here. So let's go ahead and get on to the official unboxing and the mega diecast review on the 2023 McLaren Indy 500 rides. And taking stage first is the driver of the number 5 Aero Electronics Chevrolet for the McLaren INDYCAR team. This is your 2018 Indy Lights champion and your 2020 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. It is Pato O'Ward. And this right here, I mean, for anybody who is a big fan of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, you guys are going to be really excited about this, because what all these paintings I'm about to show you right here, including this one right here, are supposed to represent the Triple Crown for the McLaren organization. And what more of a better way to start things off with the driver of the number 5 for Pato O'Ward, celebrating a really cool replica of the 1995 McLaren F1 GTR, if I'm not mistaken. So, dude, this is really cool. What's even really awesome about this car as well is that I think this is probably, I think, the first time we actually have a metallic finish on an IndyCar diecast. I mean, I don't know if you guys can really see, but we'll do a nice little zoom in on that American flag. Doesn't that look pretty awesome? But it has like this nice little sparkle effect to it. Almost looks like almost like a galaxy far, far away, if I had to describe it. But I know I just said it's Star Wars reference, but sure, my good buddy Dave Land is probably gonna have a nice laugh about that. But only fitting that I'm saying this in the IndyCar review. But yeah, this is a really unique car, guys, and you're probably wondering, where in the hell did I pick this up? Well, I got it from my good buddies at Gutswear Racing, but I'm sure my good buddies also at Spoiler Diecast will probably hook you guys up with this as well, with whatever remainder IndyCar diecast they got. I know we're going to get some 2024s out soon, but anybody who has not seen my original review on the number 5 car, I have actually reviewed the 5 Aero Electronics car for a few years now, since I have been a big fan of James Hinchcliffe. Man, I just have weird history when it comes to drivers getting shafted with McLaren. You got the whole Hinchcliffe situation, but yeah, that was fun. So, but hey, Pato O'Ward's also been one of my favorites. But dude, let me tell you what, while this is really cool that they are celebrating the 1995, ironically the year I was born, for their Le Mans winner, which, by the way, I think Mini GT also made a die-cast of this as well. But I was trying to say earlier is that I have actually reviewed the standard version of all of the Aero McLaren IndyCars from the past few years. So if you guys are curious, go ahead and check that out, because heck, I know there's a lot of McLaren fans who are going to be watching on YouTube, especially on today, see if Pato O'Ward can get it done. And this was another year that Pato O'Ward looked like he probably had a shot. I mean, say what you want about what happened during that finish. I mean, yeah, you know, a lot of people want to blame what happened with him, with Marcus Ericsson and Karma's getting him, but I don't think like that. Listen, I like Pato O'Ward as we're looking at the fine details of this car, but he's got to be a little more patient. I mean, I think once he finally cracks that code, I think he is definitely indeed ready for success. By the way, I mean, he's also your Grand Prix St. Pete winner, which I was at that race, but we all know the whole debacle about that. But yeah, this is one I probably would not sleep out on, because dude, this, I mean, where else are you going to find an IndyCar diecast with this type of metallic finish? So, man, they did a really good job with this, and I love the fine details. They got the fonts, the actual livery paint, the actual livery that goes well with this. Just really cool. The nice touches on it just looks so nice, but it's a damn shame it never got into victory lane. But hopefully, I don't know, could this be the year Pato O'Ward can win Indy 500? But we'll have to see what happens when we get on to the next ones. This next one may be a little dated, but it still has a lot of great history. the driver of the number 6 NTT Data Chevrolet for the Aero McLaren INDYCAR team. This is Felix Rosenqvist, the Swedish man himself, one of many Swedens that have raced in the Indy 500. Well, this is probably the one that probably ain't going to be talked about the much, since, of course, with Marcus Ericsson winning the 2022 race. But here we got Felix Rosenqvist's NTT Data car, which, I mean, as you guys can see, this is a pretty, looking at this color scheme, well, first of all, I gotta say, Greenlight Collectibles, that is a pretty horrendous paint chip, but luckily, with the power of Sharpie, I could probably fix that, so luckily, that will be easily fixed. But as you guys can see, we got ourselves the good old Marlboro paint scheme or livery that is on this car. But what's pretty cool about this is that this is supposed to represent, yes, another Triple Crown victory for the Aero McLaren team. We already talked about the 95 24 Hours of Le Mans. Well, how about the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix for Formula One? Guess what? McLaren, they got it done, man. That is, of course, one of the big races that comes out during the month of May around Memorial Day weekend. And this right here is pretty iconic that they brought this paint scheme back, even as well for Alexander Rossi's primary. So that shows you just how favorable this livery is. And of course, I mean, while it may not have that much color and uniqueness compared to the Pato O'Ward car, you definitely don't want to sleep out on this. And for some odd reason, this car actually took the longest to come out. It's like I had all these cars set up for around like February or so, but I finally got the Felix Rosenqvist car, and that came out during I think St. Petersburg. So I don't know why it took so long, but definitely looks really nice. I mean, of course, the colors may be a little off on camera, but in person, the white and the papaya, it is pretty on point. I kind of wish they did more than all these black accents that we got right here, but so it's pretty cool that they're representing the very iconic Formula One race from the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix for, I believe, I think it was the MP4 too, if I'm not mistaken, for McLaren in that type of model. But it's pretty iconic, dude. And speaking of which, we also got Greenlight Collectibles making an appearance on there. So I guess they're trying to hide away from that paint chip that we had right there. But still, it's pretty cool. But I also noticed this as well, guys. We do get a lot of cool details with the rubber tires and the metal chassis, which that's something I do praise. But as you guys can see, we don't have any detail right here where the fuel cell is. It's just pretty much, it doesn't even look like it's even cut. It's not even like decaled or like properly cut from the die-cast chassis. I wish they kind of would do a little more detail on that, because it would look a lot more nicer. It just looks a little cheap, but also, if you guys also notice as well, guys, we got the 3 Triple Crowns, and of course that's supposed to represent the race for the Triple Crown of this. But yeah, I mean, still a lot of cool features, man. Every little decal and logo you can see is pretty accurate to what this car was raced. And I mean, again, we do got some quality issues with the paint. I mean, as you see, the black exhaust ports do look not too good, but this is one I would probably recommend picking up, considering that, well, I mean, the 6 cars I think are probably going to be the rarest ones in my opinion, considering Rosenqvist is no longer with this team anymore, and of course now with the constant driver changes with the 6 car for this year. By the way, is there even more paint chips that we got right there on the windscreen? My lord, I think it's time to switch out and get on to the next one, because the quality on this doesn't look too good, but still is a nice diecast to have in the collection. Next up in the diecast reviewing station, we got this very iconic livery that probably does not need any introduction, especially if you guys know your Indy 500 history. This is Alexander Rossi's 2023 McLaren INDYCAR Chevrolet for the NTT INDYCAR Series season, and this is supposed to represent the very iconic Johnny Rutherford 1974 Indianapolis 500 victory. And we have seen so many variations of this car in diecast form. I mean, heck, if you really want to go back into that, heck, you remember Fernando Alonso's 2017 McLaren Andretti car that came out? Yeah, believe it or not, I actually have that, and I'm really glad I did, because that is a very rare car to have in IndyCar diecast collectors rooms. But yeah, the McLaren IndyCars, this one does not need any introduction, guys. You got that beautiful papaya with the blue accents. It pretty much it's pretty much almost similar to what the brand identity that we have today for McLaren, whether it's for IndyCar or for F1. But this is really cool, very simple, but again, it has such a lot of good meaning behind it. Of course, you're probably wondering, wow, Rossi doesn't have the main sponsors, he just has McLaren. Well, the reason why he has a lot of McLaren sponsors, well, they can't put tobacco logos on this car. I mean, last time I checked, there's supposed to be like a Velo or Views logo, but since that's, that's that wacky tobacco, as I like to call it. Speaking of wacky, does that line look like it's a little, off the rails? By the way, I didn't realize they even put Alexander Rossi's name right there, kind of similar to what, JR did. But I love how the aero screen looks on this as well, man. See the nice blue accents around there, and you got the arrow. And look at this. We got, wow, they even added, I don't think we even see this detail on the other cars, guys. It looks like that's a qualifying 500 sticker, if I'm not mistaken, or some sort of memorial sticker, or I'm trying to remember. I really don't know what that is, but that's some sort of commemorative sticker right there, which, I mean, I have not seen that anywhere else. And we got some more other sponsors. Oh, we got Smart Shop. Whoa, isn't that some smart logo placement right there? But the Indy 500 tires, which of course are pretty dated, and oh yeah, we do got some sponsors right here on the rear diffuser. I didn't even realize that. What does that say? Extract or Extreme? Who knows? But oh, we got a nice little orange dot on the back. Don't know if that's actually supposed to be like that, but if it is, then hello, orange dot. The spoiler is a little crooked, and we do got some same problem with those exhaust ports on the back, as I think of what I said with the Felix Rosenqvist car. But still was really nice. See the Grand Collectibles. Whoa! It looks like someone shot that Greenlight logo. What on earth? My camera's having a hard time. Yeah, look at that Greenlight logo, dude. Look at that Greenlight logo. And yeah, this is a problem. I was kind of worried, but you can definitely see where they painted this whole visor blue, and then you put the orange over it. You can definitely see the blue is kind of bleeding in. So yeah, quality control. Yeah, I mean, probably this is the worst looking one considering, yeah, that's a different type of orange compared to what's up on here. So I kind of wish Greenlight would just kind of stop doing that. But I mean, we have seen a lot more worse before. I mean, feel free to comment below which IndyCar has been your favorite so far, guys, because we still probably have, you may think it's probably over just now, but it ain't over for this guy. Alexander Rossi, I got a feeling since he's pretty fired up, maybe he can probably get a second Indianapolis 500. I don't know, guys. We will find out today for sure, but there's one more driver that we got to keep in mind that could possibly make a return for today's race at the Indianapolis 500. And this guy does not need any introduction, guys. What I'm about to show you is probably in diecast form the last time we are going to have a Tony Kanaan diecast. Well, hold on to that thought, but this is Tony Kanaan's number 66 Aero, well, I guess you could say Smart Shop, self-storage, IndyCar for the Aero McLaren IndyCar team, and in this beautiful Chevrolet Dallara. But yeah, I mean, this livery is pretty interesting, guys, but Tony Kanaan, the man, the myth, the absolute freaking people's champion, that's for sure. I mean, you guys know he is your 2004 IndyCar champion, or IRL champion, if you guys want to get very technical. And then we also got him, of course, getting his famous Indianapolis 500 win, 12 years of trying, just like Joseph Newgarden. Tony Kanaan won the Indianapolis 500 after his 12th try and got it done in 2013, and that was such an emotional win. Probably one of the wins that I just love in all forms of IndyCar history, because you can just tell this guy has loved the sport, and for him to be stepping away full time now, or possibly retiring, who knows? I mean, it seems like drivers don't really like to use that that term anymore. But this is a cool diecast, and I will have to say, in broad daylight, I mean, the papaya may look a little off-putting. I mean, you definitely see where there are some spots where it's orange. Same thing I said about the window visor. I kind of wish that was cleaned up a little bit more. You definitely see it's a little sloppily put together. But if you guys are wondering what the heck this livery is supposed to represent, it's supposed to represent the 3 Triple Crowns. So you got 1 star right here, the 2nd star is right here, which almost looks like a fighter jet. And we got the 3rd one down here. So yeah, this is a very unique paint scheme or livery. It's a smart looking car. I'm not sure if I mean by that, but we got kidney cardening. Interesting. And we got 7-Eleven. Still pretty cool. They got 7-Eleven, on this car for all these years. I think that's pretty cool. Just shows you, brand loyalty really matters, man. Although I would have loved if we got a 7-Eleven car. If they just brought it back one more time, man. As we got a freaking... Oh, God, there's a paint chip on this car. How about that? A freaking paint chip. But yeah, I think this one probably... I don't want to say it's going to be the least popular one, but compared to the other three, I mean, it's just showcasing the 3 stars for the Triple Crown. But it's a Tony Kanaan diecast, and if you guys haven't picked up a 66 diecast, I'd probably say this is your best time to get it, because the last time we had a 66 car release was with Fernando Alonso. No, I'm not talking about his 2019 car that got bumped from Kyle Kaiser. I'm talking about the 2020 car, the Ruoff mortgage car, so I still have that one as well. So, yeah, I do have all the Alonso cars for IndyCar. How about that? But anyways, as you can say, that was probably a smart stop for me to do. But in all seriousness, guys, would recommend picking this up, but yeah, this is one I think a lot of people are not really going to probably pay attention to just because it's basic, but still is very nice regardless. And overall, guys, I will have to say, out of all these cars that have came out, I would probably say you should probably I would recommend picking up all of these. Sure, they didn't came out in a big Aero McLaren set like they did in 2022, which, by the way, those are still available. So if you guys want me to review some more Aero McLaren cars, I could probably buy that set since I am a huge Aero McLaren fan. But I would say if you are a huge fan of this team, whether it's F1 or IndyCar, these are the ones I would recommend picking up. I mean, you could probably wait on the Kanaan, but these 3 in particular, definitely I would recommend getting. Like I said, Gutswear, Spoiler Diecast has it, but to, wrap things up, the Pato O'Ward car, really nice. I'm glad that they did a Le Mans throwback to the 1995 winner. And then with Felix Rosenqvist, the iconic Marlboro paint scheme and livery that we all know and love, and the Greenlight Collectibles did a really good job replicating this paint scheme from the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix, the 1974 Indianapolis 500 winner for JR Johnny Rutherford. Really cool. Rossi brought that back, and Tony Kanaan representing the Triple Crown in this cool paint scheme, probably his last one. But we'll see what happens if the weather plays out. But maybe Tony Kanaan will probably be racing in that 17 car for Kyle Larson if things don't go too well with that. But comment below what you guys think about all these IndyCar diecast reviews I've been putting out, especially this one. I know you guys love the Mega Diecast reviews, but absolutely 110% pick all these cars up. They are definitely worth it. They give your IndyCar collection a lot of personality and a lot of history as well. But this is going to wrap up the Mega Diecast review of the Aero McLaren IndyCar team. This is the Indy 500 cars that you can get at any Greenlight Collectibles retailer. But yeah, this has been OBB, the Diecast News Guy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys right after the Indianapolis 500.